hey. So you have 2-3 more minutes for your pre-stretches and what you need to do, what you feel you need to do. And then in a few minutes we'll start. Okay, friends, then over the next few breaths, the people that are using props under their body, like blocks and blankets and bolsters, I would always take a moment to release the spine without the bolsters. But if you're good to go, then bend your knees, roll over your right side, and let's meet the others in a comfortable first seat. Stable and comfortable, to be exact. Sitting nice and tall, maybe on the block. It becomes a little less stress in our hips when our knees are on the height or a little lower than our hip bones, and that's why we advise you to sit on something. Make your life a little easier. Life's hard enough. Hands resting comfortably, and maybe allow your eyes to soften or to close. Now you are here for different reasons, and there are many, many different ways to practice. But there is also something that connects all the practices. And we could talk and argue about what that exactly is, of course, forever, but in my opinion, it's that quality of you really tuning in with yourself. And that can maybe sound really out there, very hippy-dippy, very miraculous little things happening to you and stuff. But really it's not, it's just you spending time with yourself. not being constantly distracted. And if we allow moments of our life to have this sense of solitude, of being with yourself without other people screaming opinions at you, you start to notice yourself. You start to notice what's happening in you. That is not always fun, I can promise you that. Sometimes it is, but not always. It's like putting the most honest mirror in front of your face and looking at yourself and listening at yourself. Hopefully without judgment, because we really don't need extra judgment. It's so not necessary. But when you sit still like this, you start things coming up. Sometimes there are things that are annoying. The sound of the laptop, or the sound of the fans, or sounds from the outside, or this is just when you sit down, your neighbor starts home renovations, or whatever, you know. But it's all just really little tricks of your mind to keep connected to the outside world. Like, I hear something here. I hear something there. See, I just cannot meditate. It's easier to cover it that way, our own inability. But it's all yoga really happens only within you. The real yoga even happens beyond your five senses. So it's not the postures that you do, or the time you spend in meditation. It's if you approach it with an open heart, maybe. So we are going to keep it very, very sweet and simple. We are just going to go into this ocean of Om. So we're going for a few rounds, more than just 3. We have very powerful mantras in the tradition. We have mantras that shout the name of the gods. We have mantras that are very powerful for things that you do during the day. There are certain mantras described for certain things. There are mantras for when you go traveling. There are mantras when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed. There are even mantras for going to the toilet both ways. There are literally mantras for everything, if you're really into that kind of thing. It's all out there. Honey bunny, one lifetime is not enough to play with all the practices. But there are also mantras that are a little bit more about vibration. And one of the main mantras is Om. Om is also pretty much how every other mantra starts. So, or the mantras that are according to the chakras, the seed mantras, the bija mantras, lam, bam, ram, yam. So they're also like more, in Om, I think much more vibration than shouting it out. And this, where we go with our own breath, is a really nice way to play with it. So I keep playing and you just follow your own breath. A, U, and M. And then there's also the moment after. Om. A and U in Sanskrit always turn into O. But after Om, there's also this moment of silence, equally important. That's the moment where you slowly inhale again, without any rush. So it's really just an extension of your breath. Let's just play with that. front of the chest, heart center. Bow your head. And you can set either an intention, or you can offer your practice up. You can dedicate your practice to somebody, something outside yourself. And then you can rest your hands back onto your legs. And I say a very sweet welcome to everybody here and there. My name is Mark. We just share a little practice. Take only what you need, because it's also just an offering. And it's not really about this. Remember that too. You can walk for many years into yoga classes, take yoga classes, take asana practice, and you can be a happy little yogi camper. You can have a lot of fun, and it's going to be very nourishing and beneficial to you. But in the same way as all risotto is made out of rice, but not every rice dish is risotto. You can enjoy asana practice. Of course, it's moving, it's nice, it's beautiful, you connect to the breath, but it's not it. There are other practices. We talked, I think, last week about these 4 different paths of yoga, the bhakti and the karma. Remember this? There are different ways of approaching yogic practice. Some people like to chant a lot. Some people like to serve karma yoga. Some people like to study the Vedas and the scriptures. That's the way of knowledge. There are different ways. But at the end of the day, even though your personality will be drawn more to one thing than the other, because you're unique and that person is unique and everybody is unique, that's what we have all in common. We are a certain way, but all of the parts have to flow in a little bit. There has to come some extra knowledge to it. For example, I don't care how flexible you are, because that's not how we measure a practice. It feels utterly satisfying when after many years you finally can touch your toes. I get it, and I don't want to take that joy away from you. But it's not about it. It's about who's doing it and what's happening on the way towards your toes. It's your inner process. It's all really at the end of the day to get to know yourself a little bit better. And to, here comes the hard part, here comes the big nut. That you are it already. That you are absolute perfection. That you in this package and this soul and the personality and all those lovely juicy little quirks that you have, that's it. Nothing else is needed. Just that part here doesn't believe it. And that's why we're constantly searching outside for something to give us that feeling of, oh, finally I'm home. Finally I'm there. Finally I'm it. You are it all the time. You're all the time home. But that mind of ours is constantly grabbing at other things. So all is about stilling the fluctuations of the mind. This is really one of the first lines in the Yoga Sutras. Yoga stills the fluctuations of the mind, or, if you flip it around, when the mind becomes still enough, yoga can kind of happen. So when we step on the mat and it's all about like, oh my God, my neighbor is doing this, and oh God, I gotta do this too now. Oh my God, I'm getting really tired. Oh, I can't lift the leg. Oh, fuck. I'm wearing the wrong pants. Then it's not really yoga. You know what I mean? We have to sort of elevate a little bit by realizing that everything you do is fine, it's great, it's okay, and definitely it's enough. It's absolutely enough, because it's the best that you can do. There we go. What else is needed? And that inner voice, I would love for you to listen to that inner voice today a little bit. That weird, like it's literally like an angel and a devil on your shoulders. And the one's like, you're beautiful, you're doing great. And the other one is like, go more, go deeper, go further. And we're going to find that balance in between. You are not here to perform. You are not here to be pretty. You are not here to be perfect because you're already perfect. You walked already in perfect and beautiful. What else is there needed? The chaturanga is not going to get you there. The down dog is not going to get you there. It's making peace with what you do. And then, if you contemplate this, just as a general weird idea out there, like, okay, over time, it's more about how I do it and how I'm in the practice. Then you could take that ability off the mat and bring it into your work and into your relationships. You know, and then it becomes all a little different. Yoga is not just one thing. Yoga is not a thing you do 3 times a week. Bigger. And you don't have to worry about it either. You can already come off what you're sitting on top of. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk more. Shake your legs a little out. From Peru to India, from shamans and gurus and priests and whatnot, all over the world, I heard the same word, the same teaching. Guess what that teaching is? The first and foremost, especially for us Westerners, relax. That is the biggest teaching we have to embrace because we're all running around with anxiety and this closed heart. Relax. You are it already. It's all good. Place your hands behind you, fingers pointing to the front, bending your lovely knees comfortably, so feet and hands are on the mat. Then let's lift something off. Ooh. Good. You can look up straight to the ceiling, which is very lovely. You can also let the head gently drop behind you. Good. And then bringing your hips back down. Forearms. So if you're already struggling with the wrist, just come onto your forearms and lift. You can still do, oh, honey bunny, I still want you to work your shoulders. So if your wrists are a little tired, you can also do this on the forearms. Otherwise, come back onto your hands and lift up. I'm just giving options. See, she needs it today on the forearms for her reasons, but do you need it? That's why copying in class is always really, doesn't always work. Good, guys. And then look in fascination towards your right knee, and then lift the right foot up. Do you notice how you're holding your breath now? Bring your right foot down. Shake it up. Okay, some of you have not taken class with me, otherwise that shaking would go much better now. Shake that booty. Good. And then little lift again. Left leg up. Look how strong you are. There you are. Let's get all that stuff out right in the beginning while we are still young and fresh. Slowly bring the foot back down. Bring your butt to the end of the mat so you have space to either cross your ankles or flip the hands around. Bring your hands onto the mat. Maybe today, if you're already feeling this a bit, make it a wider stance. Bring your hands a little further forward. So we want to go around that angle. So a lot further than you think maybe today. Or something under your hands here. Tuck your toes then under. And lift into down dog. Nice, yeah. Okay, rather than giving into your impulses and desires, I want you to listen first. What's there? What's happening? What's your body screaming for? And then you can respond. Like, oh, legs are a little tired, a little tight today. Let's walk the legs a little out. Let's shake the head. Let's free the neck. You can make this so lovely and personal. Because your practice is personal. Your practice is an intimate relationship. Yes, darlings, very nice. Really connect your hands, guys. Even by Do you ever do it with a block? Serve yourself on a block? Good, guys. On your next inhale, come forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor. Reach the arms back alongside the body, legs a little closer together, and then let's just lift everything off the floor. Yeah, you know what? I like back muscles a lot. I think they need so much more training than your arms. Lovely. Now, your hands alongside your body here are gonna take really big light bulbs. You just take it, have you seen those big light? You take them in your hand. And then you screw, 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 screw. Hello, you're trying to get the light on. A little bigger, a little more screw, until you feel that in your shoulder. Yes, with those long arms. Good, and then keep the palms turned out. Ooh, good. Now, bring your arms to the side of the body, bending the elbows like a U shape. Just like this. Good, lovely. What's the only thing you have to do? Breathe. There you go. See, so simple. So simple. Good. Careful that it doesn't become this. Rather lift the hands a little higher. Good. Yeah. From here, placing the hands back to the floor. Bring it back to hands and knees, and bring it back into down dog. Down dog, try to keep really lengths within your spine. And then walk your feet forward towards the top of your mat. Hanging the upper body a little out, nice and free. Which you should do a lot in between when you sit all day in front of a computer or a screen. Oh, decompressing your spine, so to say. Good, guys. From here, draw the navel inwards, bend your knees a little bit more, and roll yourself up to stand. Hands in front of the chest, step your feet together, inner toes touching. Standing tall, nice and long. Okay. It's always there. When I say stand tall, what you will always see is, I love this part of your body, but what's with this part of the body? This we want too, so we open all sides of the body. Tall is through the crown of your head, not your chest or your face. Good. Exhale through your nose. Inhale, circle the arms overhead, reach up, touch the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward and down, head drops all the way. Bring your hands to the shins. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step left foot, right foot back to down dog. This brings all the weight onto the wrist. Does it make a difference if you do this? A little bit? It's only one or it's both? We need to talk about that because that first half hour is not going to be your fan. I'd rather have you on hands and knees and then down dog because then you don't have so much weight on your hands, okay? On your next inhale, come forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the belly. There we go. Keep the hands where they are. Peel the chest up. Exhale, lower down. Good. But that was a little much arm, so hands off the mat. Inhale, peel the chest off. There you go. Hello, back muscle. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. Knees back under the hips. Tuck your toes under. And lift back into down dog. Good. From here, exhale, bend your knees and look in between your hands. Lightly step or hop forward. Woohoo! Exhale, fold, head drops. Inhale, come to stand, circle the arms up, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands in front of the chest. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift, hands to the shins, straighten the back. Long back, more, longer. That's rounding, opening. Exhale, step right foot, left foot back to down dog. Good. Maybe in down dog like this, or just on the knuckles. Fingers turned forward, I think, but you're not with the heel down. You're here on the knuckles. On your next inhale, come forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest. Use your back muscles. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. And bring it back to down dog. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step. Slowly rising up into your high lunge. And reach the arms up. Good. Arms bent or long? Long. Shoulders up or down? Down. See, it's so easy. You know all the answers. Back leg nice and strong. And a little bit navel in and out. Good. There are ways around. We have to talk after class. I'm going to figure that out for you. On your next exhale, place the hands back onto the mat and step back into down dog. And I'd say make it a happy down dog and wag your tail. Shake that. Okay. I think that's a dog that gets to the vet. I'm thinking of dogs getting tennis balls and bones and stuff. Happy dog. Whee! Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot forward, big step. Inhale. So one of the reasons why we ask you at the beginning of the class to set this intention or this dedication is to step out of you being the doer. I gotta do it well. No, it's all good. It's not yours. You already gave it up. It's all an offering. Yay! Do we have to repeat the questions? Arms are long. Nice. Back leg. A little bit. From here, place the hands back onto the mat. Exhale, step back. My Lord. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands. Lightly step or hop forward to the top of the mat. And exhale, fold your upper body down. Inhale, arms circle up overhead. Exhale, navel in and up, hands in front of the chest. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Half lift. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Really engage the back muscles. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to down dog. One breath. In. Exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot forward, big step. Inhale, arms reach up, high lunge. Good. Yoga is about, asana practice is about flexibility and strength. Strength. So let's bend the back knee. Oh, it's such a heavy left knee. Oh, it goes so deep to the floor. Wait. You can't just follow me. Come up. Because you stopped listening to yourself. Did you notice that? You just did what I told you to do. You are exploring, and then you're going to say, no, thank you. That's okay. You have all the freedom to do this. Now, everybody, bring your left knee gently to the floor. Place your left hand down, straight under the shoulder. You can also keep it on the fingertips. And then open your chest to the right and reach the right arm up high. Shoulders pulling away from the ears, so it's nice and free around your neck. Good. And then you have options. Isn't that good to have options? You have the option to tuck your left toes under and lift the left knee off the mat, lengthening the back leg out. Because some people like to work a little more. But that's all there is to it. The question you should ask yourself, does it give me a better twist? That's interesting. We have to let go of the images and we have to learn more to listen to our body. Very nice. Exhale, bring your right hand down and step your right foot back. Yes, darlings. Same game on the left. Left leg lifts up high. Long leg would be lovely. Left foot steps forward, big step. And then somehow coming up a bit. Good. We can bring a little care in. Over time, you will start to notice that, oh, you can bring care into the in-between bits as well. Oh, lovely. I want you to test this out now. 2 ways. Thinking of your back leg, your right leg. People think always of lengthening, like pushing the heel further out. But then we lose a lot in the lower back. It starts to arch. We do all this. So first, navel in and up. Ooh, that feels already a little better. And now, push your right foot down into the mat as if you want to kick the leg forward. Ooh, strength. Now bend the back knee. Maybe just a little bit. Or maybe just quite a lot. I don't know. How should I know? I don't know how it feels in your body, except of when I look at your face and you look in a lot of pain. Slowly bring the knee down. Bring the right hip down. Open your chest to the left. Reach the left arm up high. Twist. What was the only thing you had to do? What? Good, okay. I'm a little deaf. You can speak to me loudly. So, only thing you have to do is breathe. How? Because I'm hearing somewhere here in the room, that is not the breathing we mean. Gentle breath. Steady breath. Nice and equal. If you want to tuck your right toes under and lift the knee off the mat, go ahead. Good. Better. If you lift the back knee off, you bring more weight to your hands and wrists. You understand, don't you? I'm just saying. Exhale, bring the left hand back down and step it back into down dog. Very nice. On your next inhale, come forward to a high plank. Place your knees onto the mat and bend your elbows back, which, if you do it more and more, will probably lower your chest. And then you ask yourself, but where to? How deep? I don't know. How deep can you? I don't know. Now, okay, wherever you are, Push your chest forward, long arms. Careful. Shoulders back, of course, because you want to open the chest. In about 10 minutes, Olaf is going to explain why we want to learn to open the chest. Push your feet down into the mat and get the knees up. Ah. Toes point away left. Push your feet harder, 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 harder. And then bringing the knees down. Open the knees a little wider, big toes touching, and settle for a moment in something we call child's pose. Wat heb je het leuk gedaan? Very, very good. But is that important that I say, oh good? No, of course not. Ooh, very nice. Breath here. And then slowly bringing your hands back under the shoulders, lifting your torso, your chest. Bring your knees together and tuck your toes under. Come to sit on your heels, reaching your arms straight forward, interlacing your fingers, flipping the hands around, lifting the arms up and pressing towards the ceiling. And whatever you do, don't think of your toes. Easy peasy. It's not your toes. I have yet to have a student after 20 years who loses a toe in my class. Didn't happen yet. I'm confident it will not happen. And yet your mind cannot think of anything else. But that's what your mind does. We said that last week already. If I say, don't think of a blue elephant, don't think of a blue elephant, don't think of a blue elephant, what's the only thing on your mind right now? Exactly, toes and blue elephants. Slowly bring your arms back down. Don't ruin my teaching. Good. Well, you come back to hands and knees. And then let's talk about this wrist, because I would love for you all to make this really, really part of your practice, because this practice is very on the wrist and on the arms. It's just the first half hour is just like this. We've spent a lot of time in down dogs. We spread the fingers wide, and now you see the wrinkles here in your wrists. They want to be parallel to the top of the mat. That means these two bones in your forearm parallel to the top of the mat for most of us. But what happens, this is great, everybody's doing this, and as soon you bring weight off, I call it the little panda paws, like little bear paws, walking around with his little cupped hands. And this is going to be death of your wrists. This is the problem. So, when you spread out, your fingertips are pushing down into the floor. Your knuckles, especially here, the one on the inside, are really connecting to the floor. Good. This should feel really nice and strong. And then shift the weight towards your fingers and lift your wrists a little off. Just a tiny bit. I'm not asking you to get up like this. Just lift the wrist, the heel of the wrist a little off the floor. So the weight goes forward. Does that make sense? That's the idea. Now I can bring my wrists down but keep it light. Keep shifting the weight forward towards my fingers and come into down dog. Do you feel the difference in your hands when you set that up? In the long run. That's the idea. When it hurts, you don't want to go through the pain. This time, you're going to walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. But you're going to do it with happy toes. Okay, good. Let's say we mean with happy toes, spread out toes. Could you spread your toes? Could you spread your little toe a little further? Well, that's okay. Then you have something to learn during second lockdown. We'll give you enough time. From here, draw the navel in and roll yourself up to stand. Good. So the second and final thing, before we go into the warriors, what happens to a lot of people when they sit many, many hours in front of a laptop? What happens to your spine? You look like your old aunt with osteoporosis and a collapsed vertebrae. That's how you look. So we come into the C shape and the muscles are overstretched. So where you want to be? Here, no? Sort of. So guess what happens here in the half lift? My pet peeve. Why are you doing this to me? I will have all night nightmares about this. This is not a straight spine. This is this. You're literally practicing this. I do a lot of yoga. It's really good. So this engagement of the back muscles, this has to become second nature. And you are all doing this right now. So bend your knees a little bit. Bring your hands onto your knees. And lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs into your little half lift. Yes, that is different. Don't let your head drop too deep. Rather lift a little too high than too low. Exhale, fold. Place the hands onto the mat and step both feet back into down dog. What are we going to do now? Oh yeah, warriors. Woohoo! On an inhale, lift your right leg up high. Right foot steps forward. Left heel circles down. Warrior one. Inhale, rising up and making it sort of graceful. Good. So generally, back heel is down on the floor. And we'll take a little wider step because I want you to turn that upper body and the pelvis forward. Everything is spiraling forward. There you go. Arms reaching up high. Don't care if the hands meet, really not. Good, lovely. Standing postures are very important just to get a little confidence in the practice. Because you know standing. You know it really well. You do it every day. We just do it in different, positions of the feet and arms. But really, standing, you should know really well. Good. Focus is not somewhere on the floor. Focus is a little higher up. So instead of looking here and just waiting for things to be over, on your next exhale, open into warrior two, right arm front, left arm back, opening the hips, the body wide to the side. Go. Completely different. Yes. Front knee bent, back leg long, arms are reaching, and you might as well check your own back arm. Like, oh. Yes, over time you will learn to do this without the help of a mirror and without the help of your eyes. You just have that body awareness. You notice where your body is. Good. 5 more minutes. See, there is a lot of power in the posture. Don't forget that. The longer you stay, the more will come and unfold. And those voices will get very, very strong. I need to get out of this. get out of bed. That's okay. You are not here to pamper yourself either. You are here to stress your body a little bit. That's okay, but in a very safe way. Now, inhale, circle the hands onto the mat. Exhale, step your right foot back. Well done. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot forward. Whoopsie. Right heel circles out. Some heavy feet in the room. It's literally having a glass of water and you just see the rings like in Jurassic Park. It's coming. You want to learn over time to move silently. Not for the effect of your ears, nobody cares really about the sound, but you make it very heavy. You tell your body it's heavy. And that also has to do with your own energy. But you can learn to control that a little bit. Yes. And then moving a little bit more silently, taking a little bit more care will make you stronger. That's the beauty of it. Arms reaching up. Where was the focus? Not too low. You know why? Because your body always follows your eyes. If you look down, you'll curve down. That's just how it goes. On your next exhale, open into left arm front, right arm back. Warrior 2. Opening the hip like a book. Yes. Good. Pull the corset a little tighter. Yes. Good. You should concentrate not on like, oh God, how long we're going to do this. No, but like, oh my God, look at me, it's so strong. Look at that warrior. I feel really good here. You have to concentrate on what you have to offer. Not worrying about what's going to happen in 5 minutes, because you don't know. Barely I know. On an inhale, circle both hands down onto the floor. Exhale, back into down dog. Woohoo! Now, on your next inhale, come forward to a high plank. Easy on the wrist. Bring your knees down. Lower your chest just a little bit, but stick your butt out. Because now I'm arching your back. You feel that difference? Just in a passive, nice way. And then I push that chest forward and through, pushing the feet down till the knees are off the mat. Shoulders back, happy face. Exhale back to down dog. Good guys. On your next exhale, bend your knees and look in between your hands. Lightly step or hop forward. A full exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms circle up overhead. And exhale, hands in front of the chest, standing as tall as you can. Inhale, last round. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins, inhale, half, lift, 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 longer, 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 lift that, no, you're doing the opposite, you're doing this, yes, that engages the back muscles. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back into down dog. And then inhale, right leg lifts up high, right foot steps forward, really big step, left heel circles down. Inhale, warrior 1. Smaller step is great, love it. It's like it's not about set for everybody the same. Sometimes you have to set a little smaller. That's okay. Navel a little in and up. And on your next exhale, open into warrior 2. Okay. Now, warriors, very interesting group. It's not a couple, it's a throuple. Warrior 3. Remember warrior 3? Ooh, that's the juicy motherload. So, Bring your hands to the floor, bring your back heel up, and bring a hand back towards your hips. Most likely, left and right butt cheek are pretty much next to each other. Your pelvis is level, next to each other. The only thing we do now is we walk a little forward until you're on your right leg and lift the left leg parallel to the floor. It's a very long left leg. Lift your left leg. Yeah! And then, guess what your chest wants to do? No. Chest lifts, chest lifts, chest lifts. I don't care if your fingers are on the floor or not, but the chest lifts. Okay, you mutants, you're inventing new postures. Slowly bring your hands back to the mat, bend the right knee and step back to down dog. I know. Life is hard, life is full of suffering. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Okay, wait. Bring your left foot back down. Bring your left foot back down. Does it make sense now why we lift the leg and why I tell you to lift a long leg? Do you understand now the preparation? Everybody, one more time. Lift the longest left leg ever. Left foot steps forward. Right heel circles down. Graciously rising into Warrior One. Hello, Warrior One. And goodbye, Warrior One. Come into Warrior Two. Yes. So Warrior One, Warrior Two, completely different. Same with Warrior Three. Warrior Three is hard. So in a moment, when you come in, the back leg, I'm happy. Some of you want to turn it a little out. That I don't like so much. Keep this next to each other. Back leg long, and then lift the chest. That's all I need today. So, everybody, hands to the floor. Bring your right heel up. Check with your hand, like, yeah, sort of. Like, yeah, it feels kind of like a one line. And then come forward onto the left leg. Right leg on hip height. Good. And then lifting that chest. Yes! I'm so happy about that. Are you breathing? Are you sure? Exhale. Bring your hands down, bend the left knee, and step it back into down dog. Well done. Last vinyasa here. Inhale to a high plank. Bend the elbows a little back to a slightly lower plank. Push your chest forward and through, upward facing dog. Shoulders back. Yes. Exhale back to down dog. And you know, just because it's sort of end of August, come into your second child's pose. Knees to the outside of the mat, big toes touching. You know, because we can. What do the Dutch say? Hé, hé. Hé, hé. Lekker hoor. There are a few sounds that are very special in the Dutch language, but that's my favorite. Though knuffelen is a close second, I find. Knuffel. You knuffel. Good. So the first parts of our classes are always really very much about warming up and strengthening the body, as you noticed. But everything grabs into each other. And that's what I said in the beginning about the different ways of practice. Everything enhances each other, at least to some level. You might not necessarily be somebody who's chanting every day for an hour. Some are. But there's something about devotional practice. And there's something about the joy of singing that sometimes people don't get in the practice of yoga so much. It's all a joyous experience. Slowly then, my friends, place your hands back under your shoulders, lifting yourself up, bring your knees together, and notice the fear that we tuck the toes again under. Just notice how you worry about that. We won't. Step your right foot forward. Yes. Now you can take a very short step. You can also take a big step. Hands onto your front knee, allowing your pelvis to drop where it drops to, nothing extra. If you do feel that your left knee, your back knee, is kind of sensitive on the floor, then bring something under the knee. Towel, t-shirt, double-folded mat. Leveling the shoulders a little bit. Good. Now I want you to allow your belly to completely flop out for a moment. How does it feel in your lower back when everything is just like... And what happens when you draw that navel really strongly inwards? Do you feel a difference in the lower back? If you're very stable here, you could also reach the arms up. Maybe palms together, maybe shoulder width, but long arms, because you don't need to practice that. Yes. Slowly place the hands back onto the mat. Tuck your left toes under and step back into down dog. I know. Oof. And then step your left foot forward, bring your right knee down. Same support under your right knee. Good. Anybody lower back problems at the moment? I'm the only one? What? No. Okay. Then you can take a generous step and allow yourself to drop forward. Maybe again reaching the arms up. And let your navel work a little in and up, just to support the whole setup. Navel in and up is like when you drive a car and you watch your mirrors. It's just for your own safety, really. Slowly place your hands back to the mat. Tuck your right toes under and step your left foot back. Walk your hands towards the feet, walking back to the end of the mat. Bend your knees, pull your navel in, and start to roll yourself up. Very good. Only one standing posture today. Make it as beautiful as it is available. Tree posture, very simple, standing on one leg. We are going to lift the right knee off the floor. We are going to lift the right foot off the floor. Probably your right knee was already off the floor. Now I want you to pull your heel towards your sitting bone. So not setting it up, but just the heel to your butt, closing this, just from the muscles. And then you can take your hand, right hand to the ankle, and pull the heel even higher. Then you open the knee to the side. Hands in front of the chest, heart center, or if it today is a little on the wobbly side, arms a little out. Good, darling. Finger on the wall also works really well. And you have to let go of, it has to be a certain thing. We are aiming for right foot highest possible today. But maybe today, that's it. And then we have to adjust without judging ourselves, without comparing ourselves. Reach the arms up. Hey Krishna. Good. And just to show that we're all unperfect, why don't we close our eyes here? Oh yeah, that was the reason. See, you again forgot that at the beginning of the class I told you, you can say no, you don't have to, it's all just an offering. Slowly, with very open eyes, place the hands back in front of the heart. Bring the right knee forward and flex the right foot. Push your right foot straight back. Ooh, one long line, one long line, one long line, and bring it back, bring it back, bring it back like nothing happened. You're beautiful. Set that right foot down. Shake it. Good. Because what you see, I mean, you guys don't see it, but I see it. The faces, like, there's no free face. You have to relax a little bit. You cannot tell yourself that this is difficult, even though it is. Left knee up, closing, bringing the calf to the thigh. Then the hand puts the little cherry on top, brings the heel up to the sitting bone. Only then I open the leg to the side. Place my foot into my standing leg, wherever that might be today. Maybe arms out today. Maybe a finger on the wall today. Maybe arms out today. Maybe eyes closed today. Who knows? Slower with the transitions. It's very hard to keep the balance then. Yes. Believe me, I do the closing of the eyes in level 3 as well, and they hate it as much as you do right now. But it's such a good training. Especially to stay humble and not to be perfect. We are here to play and to explore, not to win a ribbon. Nobody gets a certificate at the end here. Good. Slowly, open eyes, hands back. Left knee forward. Flex the left foot. And what you do is really just kicking it back and come back up to stand. That's Warrior 3. Hey! Let it all go. Check it one more time out. Good, very nice, very nice, very nice. Gently come back onto the mat, kneeling down. We're actually going to come onto our forearms. Interlace the fingers. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Low plank, low plank. Do the okey pokey. Good guys, very nice. So, what are the voices saying? Because they're talking quite a lot right now. If we would be really, really silent, we could hear those voices. Let's talk about what I think a plank should look like. A plank would mean that from shoulder to heel, everything is parallel to the floor. I enjoy booties up, but that's a different thing. Good. Now, to just change it up a little bit, let's turn onto the right forearm and onto the outside of the right foot and reach the left arm up high. If anybody remembers the name of the posture, I let you get out of it. No? No, not English. Sanskrit. No? Okay, exhale back onto both forearms so you can think about. Side plank, very good. Side plank posture. But I know you know the Sanskrit name. Onto the left. Let's just think about it. It sounds very familiar to a German ear. Was ist das denn da? Ja, Vashistasana. That's the name. Good. Exhale, like promised. We come out and come onto our belly. Well done. Rest your forehead or your chin on your hands. Shake your belly. I know. So much work. And then we're going to come onto our forearms, like a sphinx. But we keep the rest of the body down, so don't worry about it. We're not going to lift back into low plank, at least not in the next minute and a half. Good. So, sphinx or half moon. Even though we make a little effort, what's the effort here? Pulling the shoulders away from the ears, sort of. You know, the little like, moment. So something engages. We're not just hanging. Yes, that's happening. And it brings you into a very, very strong back bend. Imagine doing this while you're standing on your feet at a wall. That would be extreme. So in certain positions you have to overcome gravity. And in certain postures not so much. But they're all building up the same thing. We need to strengthen our back muscles and our back legs. Because pretty much everybody is obsessed with their front. Every day you look in the mirror. Brushing your teeth, doing your hair, doing your makeup, checking a thing. We are obsessed with the front body because the front body we can always see. Back body becomes a little mysterious for us. We tend to forget about it. That's why sometimes in the classes it can feel like a lot of work. It's just because we really need to do that. Now, what would happen if you press your hands a little stronger and allow maybe the elbows to come off half a centimeter? Oh, look at that, look at that. That's not just your arms doing it, it's also your, everything is working together. That's really an exhale, bring it down and elbows out, come onto your right ear, look to the left. And looking down onto the mat, reaching your arms forward, legs long, arms long. Looking straight down onto the mat. Lift your long right leg and your left arm off the floor. Bring it down. Right arm, left leg. Bring it down. Left arm, right leg. Bring it down. Right arm, left leg. Bring it down. Good. Now, lift everything slightly off the mat, like Mission Impossible. Yes. And then start swimming. Come on, swimming. Faster, 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 faster. Come on, you were all on holiday, you did this. Come on. I always like to remind people of all those like white sharks behind you. So swim a little faster. Keep on going, keep on going. We lost already somebody. Hello? What's happening? Did you faint, Olaf? Slowly releasing onto your other ear, arms alongside the body, and shake it off. The thing is with all these postures, all these little bits what we are doing right now on the belly, it doesn't look very interesting. That's why you probably find these postures barely ever on the cover of a yoga magazine. Doesn't look very interesting. But my Lord, it is. And it makes you stronger and stronger and stronger. I feel people start an asana practice and start with the second floor while they don't have yet a basement, let alone a first floor. There's no foundation. We slowly build stuff up, and then things fall into its place much, much easier. Good, guys. From here, looking down onto the mat, hands under your shoulders. Here we come to Cobra now. Inhale, peel the chest off. Do you feel somewhere a bit of compression in the back? Lower back, of course, because you're curving up and you bring, it goes into the lower back. So what I'm thinking is that my hands are pulling the mat back and my chest is pulling forward. So even in this curve, I'm trying to lengthen my spine and take the stress out of my lower back. Exhale, lower down. Very good. What's the other way to protect the lower back? We mentioned it in class already. Work in the front body, navel. Naveling. Good. Here. Second cobra. Hands back under the shoulders. Arms hug in. Inhale, lift the chest. Hands pull the mat back, chest pulls forward, little toes strongly onto the mat for 3, 2, and exhale. You're so good, you're so strong today. Nearly there, darlings, nearly there. Now bend both knees and bring your heels towards your butt. Come on, let him touch. Good. If you do that quite strongly, you notice these muscles that you normally don't notice, called the hamstrings in the back of your leg. If you're cramping out, lengthen the legs back out, shake it off. Now, when we bend the knees, let's reach the arms back. And then see if you can maybe take hold of the ankles. Good. Feet flexed, toes point away from you. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Good. Kicking your ankles into your hands as well a little bit. Good. There you go. Yeah, bye-bye. Careful. A little bit, just hugging them a little to the midline. Exhale, lower down. Good. Questions so far? So when we do this posture one more time, I would love for you to notice if you are thinking, let's bend the back, or if you think, let's open the heart. We often call back bends, not back bends, but heart openers. And we're going to speak about this in a moment when we turn around on our back, because then it might become a little bit more obvious. So our last time, look down onto the mat and bend both knees. Touch your ankles, hold on to your ankles. Flex the feet. Navel drawn inwards. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Yogi Botox. Relax the forehead. Goody, goody, goody. Breathe. 4, 3. Hip bones push into the floor. 2. And exhale, lower down. That looks amazing. Thank you very much. Shake your booty nice and sweet. Maybe let your heels turn out rather than in. Good. And then bring yourself onto your knees so we can talk spine for a moment before we turn around on the back in a moment. If you look at your neighbor to your right or to your left, you will see the sidelines of the body. Is it a straight line? Well, you could consider this line within, in a way, yes. But if you look at the outer shapes, head goes out, neck goes in, upper body goes out, lower back goes in. That's why a lot of people, when they back bend, it's all happening in the lower back, all here. But it's your default. It's just because it's easy. So what we want to do is firm this a little bit, protect this a little bit more, and learn to open thoracic spine more. So this can take more of the workload. Everybody, come onto your back. Step your heels under your knees. So your knees are bent, heels under your knees, feet fairly hip width, arms alongside the body. Now when you push your feet down and lift your pelvis, there shouldn't be a lot of change in your feet, in your knees. It shouldn't turn outwards. No, no, no. Now press your feet a little harder, pushing your body towards your head, so to say. Pushing the feet down, lifting the body off, and pushing the body towards the face. Now you're not going to press your chin to the chest. No, you wouldn't. You're looking straight up to the ceiling. So you keep a sense of happy neck. Now, I want you to interlace your fingers behind your back and roll the shoulders a little bit more under, tucking the toes under your body. And that opens your chest thoracic spine a little bit more. You feel that? Isn't that nice? This is what we want to learn. Good. And then just to prove a point, step your left foot a little bit more to the middle of the mat so you can lift your right foot up into the ceiling. Yeah, now you regret that you stepped the foot closer in, didn't you? Oh, okay, step that right foot back down. Good. So it's not closer to you, it's just more inwards, so you can balance a little here. That's the idea. Lift the other leg. Hello, you got two legs. Don't play favorites with your limbs. Up to the ceiling. Ceiling is above you. Good. Why is that pelvis coming now? What's happening here? Oh. Bring the foot back down. Open your arms and lower your body down. Good, very good. And you know we're going to do that again. Second and final round. Heels under your knees. And as everybody has a block, I want you to have a reference point. Take the block in between your feet. Square, long. Just that you're long, the longest way possible, square. Your feet are hugging the block, feet are pushing into the floor. Again, body comes off the floor. There you go. And this time, bend your elbows, fingers pointing up to the ceiling like a little robot. And now push your elbows into the mat, lifting your chest again. See, there are different ways of doing this. You can again also interlace the fingers behind the back and roll the shoulders under. And now here comes our last little bit. Everybody is going to place the hands now alongside the ears. Somewhere next to your head, maybe not too short, depending on. Fingers pointing towards your feet, very good. And then you push your hands strongly into the floor. Maybe your shoulders come slightly off. Maybe nothing comes off, that's super okay. Maybe some of you come fully up, good, lovely. For 3, 2, push, and yes, thank you, that's all I need, slowly coming back down, very beautiful. Remove the block off the mat, shake your arms and legs a little bit into the sky, guys. Well done, well done, well done. And then we're going to come to a little twist to the left. Knees above the hip. Knees to the left. Look towards your right arm. Come into the simplicity of things. Good. If you consider yogic practice as a sort of balancing out your physical body, it depends on what you normally do. If you spend 8 hours at a desk every day, oh, you need back bends, you need hip openers, a lot of twists, because we have a very sedentary lifestyle. So actually, back bends, heart openers are really a big story. Very intense, and yet people love them. Because you can really work hard. You can, you feel it so much. In forward bends, for example, you don't have to work so hard, but they are utterly frustrating in a different way. But the practice is there to challenge you and to poke you a little bit. Because what I said in the beginning is really true. You're not here to be pretty and to do pretty things. It's not about doing it well and being really good at yoga or whatever people say these days. Literally, the end plan is that you are just more comfortable with your body and that your body can do all the things that you want to do with your life. That's about the gist of it. In its simplest terms, asana practice. And the sign of a really healthy body is the body that you don't think of. That's, I think, the idea in Ayurveda. The sign of a healthy body is that you forget about it until you hit your toe or cut your finger, and then you're suddenly incredibly aware of your body. That's how it goes, because something is off, something is wrong, and it bothers you. And that's why in the spiritual sense, asana practice is very conductive. To have an easier body, to be able to sit in meditation, to go into deeper realms, let's say it like this. Slowly roll your hips back onto the mat and drop your legs towards the other side, towards the right, I believe. Over time, over a few rounds of practice, you will also notice what suits your body. Some people have an easier time in forward bending or in back bending. And then some wild unicorns are just doing everything with ease. But when you learn to let go of how it should look, or if you stop comparing yourself with the most flexible person in the room, then we take a little stress out of the practice. Your practice is not there for that. Because our practice is not about flexibility. Because otherwise this room would just be full with dancers and gymnasts. People's bodies that are prone for the practice. But yoga is for everybody, and it's a great system for everybody. But for that you have to concentrate on what it is that you need. And where you need to balance out certain things. Very nice, guys. Then roll your hips back onto the mat. And then again, either take a block, or if you have a little bolster or kussentje, you can also take that, a little pillow. And then on your back, you're going to step your feet back under the knees. You're going to lift the pelvis just enough to bring your pillow or your block square under your tailbone. So it's a nice long brick. You bring your tailbone down. Where's the tailbone? In between your ass and your lower back. That's where the tailbone is. It should feel really stable to have the weight there on. And then you lift your left leg, then you lift your right leg. That's a very high block. More stable. Still get the effect out of it. Good. Do you start to notice that your legs get a little shaky or get a little tired? Doesn't seem like a big action, but it is. That's the thing. Never underestimate anything here. Slowly then placing your feet back onto the mat. Removing the block from under you. And spread yourself out in Shavasana. No. This one. Remember, you are it. And I say remember for different reasons. On the one hand, in the widest sense, you were born like this. You were born in absolute perfection, and when you were a baby, you remember that. Not because you knew and you contemplated it as a baby, but like any other animal. As a baby, you were perfectly in the moment. And that didn't go away very quickly. When you were 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5, you were still absolutely aware how frickin' awesome you were. Kids know that. Kids know that really, really well. But then at a certain point we start to compare and start to have opinions and desires. And we tell ourselves that other people are happier than we are, or worthier, or better, or their life is better, or whatever. And we get all hung up on different things. And then we suffer that. Like most people. And yoga, the yogic practices, are a way to remind you who you are. That little human snowflake, absolutely unique. We often speak of getting rid of the ego and talking about the changes that yoga can bring. Don't you worry, you will not get lost. You will still be absolutely you. Bad shit crazy as before, because that are your quirks, that's your personality, that's the beautiful part about you. Nothing gets lost. But through the practice, things start to move, to shift, to change, and sometimes you don't feel the need for things anymore. All the unnecessary falls away. Gently start to move your fingers and your toes. Stretch yourself out if you like. Then bend your knees. Roll over your right side. Oh, use your abs. And then bring yourself up to a final seat, maybe again on your block. And as we started, to make the full little round, which over time becomes really, really helpful for your brain to have this sort of clear setup, because you learn to sort of zoom into the practice and zoom back out, which is really helpful. Bring your hands together in front of the chest, heart center. We end with 3 rounds of Om. Bring your hands together in front of the chest, heart center, and exhale. Slowly inhale. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be joyous and free. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Jai. Victory to the inner teacher. So bow down to your inner teacher, that voice from within. And then you are done. I thank you all here in the room and at home, and thank all the musicians that love to use their music. My name is Mark, and I see you soon again. Namaste. Do eat, stay safe, wash your hands. Bye. Go, 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 go. Get up, get up. First you, and then you. Social distancing.